Alright, so for those of you just tuning in, we're about to do some 3v5 on the map MegaRandom between me and the viewers. It's going to be round 2 with the same group of people because the first match unfortunately did crash for whatever reason, but we're going to jump straight back into this and pretend that never happened. Hashtag just Age of Empires 2 HD things. Anyway, you guys wanted me to play some MegaRandom, you guys wanted me to do some Incas action, so I'm going to be playing as the Incas this game, and... Well, I guess I'm playing Arena. Pretty sure I clicked MegaRandom. Oh, MegaRandom. Yeah, so I guess we start with walls. MegaRandom is a map, you know, where anything is possible, and it does come with the Forgotten Expansion Pack 2, Age of Empires 2 HD Edition, which, you know, obviously I got that off Steam. And, you know, that means that you sometimes start with walls and everything, and villagers are high as fuck already. Where's she going? Oh my goodness. Villagers already huffing paint. Like 30 seconds into the game. It's what I like to see. Now, you guys did want me to play as the Incas, and they're a, well, very strange civ. I think that people get the wrong impression that I don't really like the Incas. I can't tell you how good they are. I don't know about how strong of a civ they are. They have a lot of pros and cons. Very, very odd civ. But I can say that I do like playing as the Incas. They have some interesting advantages. What I like about them personally, you know, you guys know my playstyles. I like to, you know, get to the late game. I like to get to that end game fantasy, as Riot would put it. I like to get my, you know, my super death ball of units rolling and just, you know, trounce people in the late game battles. And the Incas are pretty good with that. They have a very scary, you know, standard army composition that just, you know, covers their weaknesses pretty well. With the slingers, the Kameyuks, and onagers is a very potent combination. Now, the thing is with the Incas is they're not particularly well-rounded in that they have a crippling weakness to, like, gunpowder. There's nothing really you can do about, you know, enemy siege onagers, for example. You know, like really powerful siege, like onagers and bombard cannons. Not too much you can do about that. And, well, their Eagle Warriors are pretty bad. The 10% bonus movement speed that they get is, you know, much, much worse than the, you know, bonuses that the Aztecs and the Mayans get, so, which is like the extra attack or HP. Can't help but notice I'm right next to our friend Purple over here, and this is his first game with us on the stream, so I'm gonna try and go easy on him or attack someone else entirely, I think. It's only fair. Hello, Carcade and Laxatory. Hello, Hyman Crab. So, basically, yeah, I've had a Twitch partnership for like 3 weeks, Lax. But yeah, I guess you've been busy with basketball and whatnot, so that's fine. Anyway, so, God, I always lose track of what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, during these matches, you know, I'm going to be focusing on interacting with you guys as well as playing the game and giving a meaningful commentary, so pardon me if I make some mistakes. Aoe2 is like, it's like my favorite game of all time, but it is not the ideal game to stream, if that makes any sense. Mostly because Aoe2 requires way too much attention. Like, there's so much junk going on that, you know, when I read the Twitch chat, I get distracted and I screw up very, very easily. There's so much I have to worry about. But if I was playing a game like Hearthstone or Pokemon that's like, you know, turn-based and whatnot, it's not like I'm not thinking as much when I play those games. It's more that I have plenty of time to make my decisions, and I've got, you know, enough time to interact with you guys, because to me that's what matters the most, is that I get to interact with you guys a lot. Otherwise, you know, why would I be live streaming at all? If you can't tell the video is streamed, then something is probably wrong. That's what I like about Twitch, and, you know, I always try to be the channel, I guess, that I would personally want to watch, and I know that I, as a viewer, really enjoy my interacting with the guys that watch, so that's what I do. So I'm going to be looking at the Twitch chat as much as I can, but, you know, you can always try and get my attention if I miss your message by, you know, typing Resins22 in the chat. It gives me that, you know, black box. Makes it a little more visible to me as things do scroll by. Okay, but I might miss your message. Just don't spam it. I'll try and get to it ASAP. You're just posting it in a few minutes. Alright. Good old Incas. Probably go for some sort of Kameyuk related thing. That villager, what's she doing? Oh, there we go. Got her, guys. We got him. We got him, boys. I should get the AoE1 monk mod. What's that do? Ski Wars? Just make him go wololo. Okay. Now, you may have noticed, I don't know if you guys can notice at all, but I'm pretty congested. Allergies not so great today. They're always great when I'm not streaming. And do I have one deer over there? Wow, the delay in this match is absolutely intense. I don't know if you guys can tell that. I'm actually curious if you guys can notice the lag in these matches, but that's why I always try to get loom before I grab my board, because, you know, I don't trust the lag. Now, I think I'm going to start mining this gold instead of the other one, just because, you know, if Purple decides to do any shenanigans, I might not actually get to mine it at all. Hello, Shadow. Whoops. Alright. Some bills on those berries. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for like a fast castle age here. Sounds like the plan. Because I have stone walls, right? So early aggression, not really going to work out here. And no one's ever going to be able to get through the stone walls, so I might as well play around that, and just go straight for the castle age. Oh, that's really cool, Ski Wars. That's really cool. Wow, this delay is intense. It's extreme lag. I'll have to get a lag emote, that'd be pretty cool. Oh yeah. I'm also working on getting, you know, emotes for the chat, custom emotes for the subscribers. I can't give those away for free, unfortunately. Twitch does not have that that function, so you have to subscribe to the Twitch channel to get those emotes. I'm working on. A lot of you guys wanted a paint huffing villager emote. Now, you guys might be surprised to hear this, but no, I don't huff paint. I have no idea what how to huff paint or what that looks like. And remember, guys, that the emotes and the chat badges have to look like really tiny. Few things look good at such a resolution, so that's going to be a tricky one to do, but I do want to do it. If any of you guys are, you know, masters of working with the beautiful, like, 25 by 25 resolution, you think you can make a villager huff and paint, then that'd be pretty cool. But it has to look good as an icon. Be pretty tricky, but it's something I'm working on, so that one might take a little longer than the other ones. I already got that farm icon, as you can see, Emperor Vanilla, playing around with that right now. For the farming simulator. Now we need a lag one too, because this game is crazy. If you guys are in this game and you are watching the stream, I recommend you pause the stream, makes it a little easier. Making the emote from MS Paint for the paint spray. I'll probably have to... yeah, I have no idea. I'll think about it though. I mean, I used to do a lot of spriting, so I should be able to do that. I just don't know what it looks like to huff paint. Like, how do I make it look like the villager is huffing paint in such a tiny resolution? You know, I mean, it's already hard enough to make it look like a villager. Put it that way. Alright. We're on our way for not the best castle age, honestly. Not the best. I only had one deer inside. It's very, very peculiar. It's a very odd map. It's like the poor man's arena, I guess. Actually, this looks almost exactly like arena. What the hell? I want to play MegaRandom and they give me arena. I see how it is. And next time I play arena, we're gonna have no walls. Map's gonna be covered in fish and water, and there's gonna be dragons. When I queue for MegaRandom, I get arena. I do remember Eyewitness Chicken, but remember, few things look good at such a, you know, awkward, tiny resolution. Like, I cannot begin to describe how hard it is to get things to look good, downsized at such a level. Sly CrossFox is known for his amazing fan art, though. Just don't know how good it would look as an icon. I mean, that's, such a tiny size. Such a tiny size. Okay, so, you know, I wasn't talking too much about this, but I do have a bunch of tutorials on my channel if, you know, you gotta get the basics down. But you'll notice that I, you know, lingered in the Dark Age a little bit longer than I would otherwise want to. And the reason being is I, you know, wanted to stockpile a bunch more resources before I advanced so that I could get to the castle age immediately. What are you doing, woman? What are you doing? You're delaying my blacksmith. How can I conquer the world if you're delaying my blacksmith? Someone's gonna send all these villagers to rehab. They're just crazy these days. Man. I think, One of the most frustrating parts of Aoe2 is when, you know, you guys queue up a bunch of farms, right? You know, you hold down like the shift key, you build a bunch of farms at the same time, and all your villagers walk to the same farm. They all stand on the same farm. They're like, what do I do now? You know, instead of just each going to a farm individually. It's great. I'm not gonna make 2 markets this game, Augustus, no. Not this game, man. Maybe next game. Hey, Augustus, man, if the villagers were on cocaine, I'm sure they'd be a lot more efficient. They would never shut up, but they'd be a lot more efficient. Cocaine doesn't make them stand around holding a bunch of, like, wood in their hand. They're like, what do I do now? Do I go to the lumber camp, or do I just stand here? You know, it's a tough decision, honestly. I know I'm not a lumberjack personally, so, you know, I don't know what the next step is, guys. It's confusing. Your villagers need guidance. Give me one of them houses. Let's see. Incas get 10 population from houses instead of 5. It's pretty swell. But yeah, I tried to set up my economy so that I would have just enough wood for a market and blacksmith, no more than that, and, you know, it's going to take practice to assign your villagers to the, you know, the right resources. You should be able to do it better than me if you're not commentating and playing at the same time. But yeah, you want to have, like, just enough wood for a blacksmith and a market if you're going for a fast castle age strategy, and then you want, like, close to 800 food and 200 gold when you hit the feudal age. And that way you should be able to click up just immediately as soon as you get the blacksmith and market down. Pretty swell. And this friend is the Mongols. Are there 3 Mongols players in this game? And 2 Mayans, okay. Okay. I would say it's much better. I would only put 1 villager on your blacksmith all the time when trying to go for fast castle age, and I'd put, like, as many extra villagers as you want on the market, because the market builds, like, infinitely slower. And what the? Yo! Okay, I was talking a minute ago about how... What the... There's no point in going for any feudal age aggression, because you got stone walls, so I could go for fast castle age safely without having to worry about getting archer rushed. I was wrong. Oh, I was so wrong. Am I really getting archer rushed on arena? Yo, if this guy builds a tower right here, and he garrisons the villagers inside, and he, you know, ungarrisons them through that hole in my wall, because you guys can do that. It's called tower hopping. You can do that through diagonal walls. Then I deserve to lose. Yo, did I just... Did that just really happen? Were those archers? Were those archers, or am I huffing paint now? Oh my. Those are archers. Yo, my main man. I don't know about this. My boy Shadow. I mean, as long as it doesn't cripple him too much, because he can't do too much damage to me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this is really annoying, but... You know, he's not going to be able to really do substantial damage to my economy, and if this slows down his castle age too much, then it's definitely not worth that. I think the biggest advice I could give to players when they're starting out is just make sure your town center is always doing something. You should always be creating villagers, researching and technology, advancing to the next age. You should always be doing something. I think someone asked me recently on YouTube, like, how do I decide what strategy to go for based on the map? I think it's a really good question. It really is. And you just kind of have to think logically about it. It'll take time before you guys, you know, get used to it. But, you know, here's my logic here. I start with stone walls. Is there anything in the feudal age that can really, you know, deal with stone walls effectively? The answer is not so much. So it just makes sense to not go for any feudal age rushing. It won't really pay off, you know? Whereas, you know, a fast castle age makes sense here. I can do it safely. A fast castle age is usually really risky, because it leaves you undefended until you get to the castle age. But, you know, really pays off if you get there soon. You know, that way you'll be able to get out some knights or whatever, and just do some, you know, serious damage. So it makes sense to go for a fast castle age here, because I already start with the static defense. Now, on a water map, you know, you usually want to try and go for the water control. You usually want to go for a galley rush, like 9 out of 10 times. Because, you know, getting the water can just give you a massive edge in the game. You get access to all that free food from the fish, and you get all that delicious map control. You know, it's super great. Still getting attacked. He doesn't have fletching. This is good, though. He doesn't have fletching, so he can't get too deep in there. Trade cart rush? Oh, yeah, definitely. No taking it easy on purple anymore to crush him? he's getting, okay, his castle age time was decent, even though he went for a couple archers, so I'll take it. I guess he just really wanted to rush me. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, for the most part, on open-ish maps, like, okay, if I'm in the pocket position, right, like, I'm in the flank right now, as in I'm in the edge of my team. If I was in the pocket position, then, you know, as in I'm only surrounded by teammates and not adjacent to an enemy, then I would want to go usually for a fast castle age. Like, 9 out of 10 times you want to go for fast castle age in the pocket, unless it's a water map, because then you want to go for a galley rush usually. I guess you could go for a fast castle on water, but it's not always a good idea. So yeah, usually you want to go for fast castle age if you're in the pocket position. That way you can, you know, support your teammates with some powerful units, and it's much harder to rush a guy in the pocket position because he's so bloody far away from the enemy team. By the time your units get there, he'll probably, like, be too close to the castle age for your rush to work. Now, if you're on the flank and you're on, like, a general-ish open land map, you don't start with stone walls, and it's not like Black Forest or something, or Highlands where it's easy to wall those little gaps, then you want to go for some sort of, you know, feudal age aggression. Like, you either want to go for, like, a rush, it's just player preference there if you want to go for, like, a Dark Age rush with militia, or if you want to go for, like, you know, some sort of feudal age rush, you go archers, you go scouts, whatever floats your boat, you know? There's a really... Player preference is a big part of it, what you want your early aggression to be, so... It just boils down to, is it a water map, yes or no, and is it a closed or open map, like, am I in the middle of my team, etc., etc., etc. Usually you don't want to go for any feudal age aggression as the pocket, but sometimes. There's always a situation. Hey Residents, I haven't been able to catch the stream in a while, sorry about that. Congrats on the partnership. Well, thank you, Crestfallen Gamer. It means a lot to me, it does. I'm glad that you managed to show up anyway. I understand that people are busy, so, you know. I understand. Thank you for coming by. Okay, Shadow has a pretty decent score. Oh, he's got the crossbowman. You fired! Oh, nope, I gotta get out of there. Oh, he lives. That's what I like to see. I wanted to wall that small section off so my villagers don't get tempted to walk along that path, but obviously I'm gonna do it anyway, no matter what I do. Aoe2 is all about, half the difficulty is just holding your villagers' hands and getting them to do what you want. Now this guy's been a real thorn in my side, so I'm gonna actually put down a siege workshop. He has forced my hand. I'll get out a couple of mangonels. Great way to deal with crossbowmen, guys. Hey Milano. And hello, Slifer. You got a new headset? Oh, that's fantastic to hear, Milano. Alright. I've got a bunch of TCs down right now, which is exactly what I want. Because I'm trying to get this goal of half my max population to be villagers. I'm going to need a huge, huge economy if I want to get a scary, scary military. Because in the later stages of the game, what it boils down to is, you know, the guy who can, you know, replenish his army really quickly. The size of your army doesn't really matter if it just, you know, dies and you have no money because you have like 20 villagers and you just waited all day to, you know, hit max pop. Another TC over there. Okay, odd map. It appears there's a good chunk of the resources are in the middle, so I am going to have to try and escape from here at some point. Really get out there. I got a mangonel now. I'm going to build another one. He's going crossbowman. Working on a paint hunting icon? Okay, cool, man. Yeah, you guys, are more than welcome to, submit them to me on, like, Facebook or if you got, paint hunting icon. Build your hub from paint or whatever. No guarantees I'll use the one you send me, but, if I like it and it looks good on such a miserable, tiny resolution. I think it's 25 by 25 for an emote. It's really tiny. It's really tiny, but obviously you should make the icon slightly bigger. Just make sure it looks good at such a resolution, because for Twitch I have to submit it in 3 resolutions, so the actual icon itself should be like 128 by 128. Resolution, but it should look good at a really, like, microscopic resolution. Oh, shit. Whoa. Yo, does this guy have archers, too? Guys, don't build archers, if you have the stone walls. I mean, I guess he's in the castle age now, so it's okay, but he doesn't need them, because he's in the pocket, right? He's in no danger of being rushed. He's surrounded entirely by his teammates. He's in no danger right now. He does not need this. It's a waste of resources that could go towards building up his economy. Now, it is like 27 minutes in, so it's a little more reasonable. He could be applying some pressure with that, but he's not. he has those archers defending his base, and it's not like he's trying to apply any pressure right now. If you're not trying to apply any pressure, then just work on your economy. I'd prefer you didn't, Genki. This is not a place to advertise your stream, and that goes for everybody. If it's not strictly relevant to what I'm talking about, I would prefer that you don't use my stream for your advertising purposes. That is not okay. Because plus you've already done it here like twice, so yeah. If you want people to show up to your stream, then please do it organically. All right, I need to start expanding into the middle. 'Cause I need this gold, man. I need this gold. All right, thank you, man. Appreciate it, Genki. Ah, I killed my builder. Oh, well met. Well met. Now, I'm going to assume he tried to run a lot sooner, but, you know, good old Aoe2 HD lag. Struggle. The hell? Okay. Now, see, the things here right now is that if you look at Shadow, over here is he has, like, he really wants to attack me. And that's fine. Like, you definitely want to start applying pressure. It's 30 minutes into the game. It makes sense to start applying some degree of pressure. Now, what it doesn't make sense to do is do it at the expense of your own economy. In this case, it's a 3v5. It really does favor that. You know, they have the better late game, right? Because they just straight up have more players. We can't really possibly compete with them in the late game because they just straight up have more players than us. And what that means is that it's not really in their best interest to, you know, destroy their own economies by attacking me. I mean, if you look at his score, he's doing more damage to himself than he is to me. And yeah, him attacking, he's slowing himself down. Like, I don't even have to attack him. Just by him attacking me, I've already weakened him. Like, that's fantastic, right? I've already done my job by not doing my job. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't rush me, but if it's at the expense of your own economy, like, prioritize your own economy over the military if you can. Like, especially in a team game. In a 1v1, I guess you could say, you know, the rush could be more important because you might be able to just straight up end the guy, but, you know, try and focus on the economy, make sure your TC is always working. When you get to the castle lead, plop down a couple extra TCs, and you're good to go. Good to go. But, you know, like, that's wood for battering ram. Could have used that to build most of the TC, not all of it, obviously. But I'm not saying you shouldn't attack me. You definitely should. But you gotta have your priorities, I guess. Because in this case, you know, I got to do a lot of damage to him without really having to do anything. And that sounds pretty snazzy in my book. The fight's not fought or won. Indeed. Like, I've already done my part. Like, I built a bunch of okay, to be fair, he did make me build a bunch of mangonels, and I'm not gonna lie, that was, you know, annoying. That's a lot of wood down the drain, but I'm still getting my economy strong during this time, whereas he is completely falling behind in that regard. Now, my economy is apparently imbalanced as hell, as this map layout's really weird. I've been finding it hard to find good places to, you know, put down some lumber camps and to get down some gold and stone mines. Because all that's at the front of my base, it's all very, very vulnerable. It's all very, very vulnerable. Oh yeah, and the other thing here is that he has a bunch of crossmen, right? Now he can't do any direct damage with them, so he's gonna have to, like, fire over my walls. And during that time, he's gonna give me plenty of time to build counter units and then just destroy his army. Like, it's a lot more cost efficient in this case. Because I can just, you know, delete his entire army by making a couple mangonels, and yeah, that's all she wrote for him. In that regard. Walls are not there to stop an enemy attack, they're there to give you a warning. And yeah, paid off in this case. Now, he did make a bunch of knights to counter me, and he's gonna... But I do have a castle coming out some point in this year, I think. Do I have to build castles? I am gonna build Kamiuks. That's gonna be kind of fun. I wonder if I'll be able to kill all these knights with just mangonels. I did. Nailed it! That has to be an achievement. Please, Microsoft, deliver. As you want to see me go top with Sona. Do that. We do that. I want to do a lot more Hearthstone-related content in the future, because League of Legends suffers from another problem that Aoe2 has, where You know, it's not the best game to stream, because again, it requires, you know, utmost attention. And I think that a huge chunk of live streaming is viewer interaction. Otherwise, you know, why live stream at all, right? So, you know, I lean towards games like Hearthstone, where I have plenty of time to interact with you guys between turns. A lot more time to explain my thoughts, but yeah, do some League-related stuff. I'll probably be streaming League of Legends like every Saturday night. I realize that's not like doable for some of you, but again, you know, time zones, nothing I can do about that really. Because I end up playing League every night anyway on Saturday with a bunch of my friends, so probably just do that. So if you guys want to show up to my stream on Saturday nights, get to see some League. Again, you know, you'll always be able to find my live stream schedule for the week, because it's going to vary from week to week, by just going to my Twitch page and scrolling down a bit. I used to play StarCraft a lot. Let's see, Internet? Is it Internet or Internet? Either way, I used to play a lot of that. I have some Kameyuks now, so it shouldn't be a huge deal. Annoying anyway. I don't really like this castle placement specifically, because it is in range of trebuchet fire. And I never like to put my castles in range of trebuchet fire if I can help it. I never like that. It's like my pet peeve, man. It's like not okay, but I'll let it slide this time because I think that I need a castle in this position to protect me, to protect my minerals, and to give me a way to reinforce my army a lot sooner. I don't know. I think that Hearthstone is incredibly interesting to watch, but that might just be me. Same thing Pokemon. Like, turn-based games don't have to be boring. I think they're only boring if you don't understand them. And I think that's where I come in, is I try to make strategy games, you know, more approachable, I guess. I want to help you guys understand them on a deeper level. Because, you know, while I might not be the best player, I do know a lot about the games that I play, and you know, I try to share that knowledge with you guys. They probably need me. They don't at all. I take that back, they probably don't need me, but I am gonna do some stuff. Build another castle. Try to reinforce a little bit bigger. I don't wanna kill purple right off the bat, because this is first time here apparently. I don't take pleasure in other people's suffering, you know, gotta build up a bit first. Show some mercy. I usually lose these 4v5, sorry, these 3v5s. I usually lose these 3v5s, so I guess Lady Luck was on my side. And they gave me, well, guys that were, I mean, like, let's be real here. This Kosalas guy, and not only is he incredibly, like, underrated, like, he's like 7, but he's also like 2 elo away from the cutoff, so hardly fair, unfortunately. I'm gonna have to probably just bar Kotsala specifically. Looks like they're, yeah, just tearing these guys a new one. That's, is unfortunate. Okay, Kotsalas, man, I gotta say, you should not sign up for 3v5. You should sign up for the 4v4s. You are clearly way too good for this. Not even close, my goodness. Like, I'm only, like, playing half seriously here, but, like, man, that can't be fun for the enemy team. I'm gonna give this guy plenty of time to build up before I come in.
Yes.
You should do the other one. These guys are really new to the game, so it's not really fair. He knows this. He knows better than this. All right, I got 2 relics now. I'm gonna start attacking. Yeah, that's fine. Reminder attack. You know what I'll do? I'm just gonna keep building castles. I'm gonna do that all day. Alright, I'm coming for you. Eventually. I just don't wanna destroy him, but yeah, it has to happen eventually. Don't wanna drag this match on for like the rest of the day. You can find a link to my custom AI in the video description of all my videos, or, you know, you can just go to the Steam Workshop. I'm gonna have a new version coming out really soon. I just want to make sure I've ironed out all the kinks. Let's see what that goes. Any more gold miners. I'd make a barracks for Helbs. Yeah, Helbs are a good option here too. But, you know, Kamiaks are just strictly better than Halberdiers. They just cost more, so, you know, I could use siege engineers and some trebuchets. Need some weapons. Whoa, holy guacamole! This is why you throw onagers in with your army, my friends. This is value right now. Welcome to Value Town. Population resonance right now. Oh my goodness. Res space arrived. I can do a res space icon. I have a limited number of icons I can have, but, you know, it goes up the more subs I get. So, you know, that one didn't have as much popularity as, like, the paint huffing and the lag, but it's something I'll definitely do. Now, the thing is this guy, you know, he's building a wide variety of units. This is good. But the problem here is that the units that he's building are all countered by the same thing, onagers. And that's not necessarily optimal, my friend. Not necessarily. What you want to do, usually... No, this is actually kind of holding the line over there. Anyway, what you want to do usually is you want to build a bunch of units that cover each other's weaknesses. So you don't just need to build a wide variety of units, but they should also, you know, have some degree of synergy here. And making nothing but ranged units is fine and dandy, except, you know, they're all countered by onagers, which I already have. Because, you know, my Kamiaks are very, very weak to all the units that Purple is building, so I needed something to cover those weaknesses. I think it's less important to understand, you know, how I decide what strategy I go for, per se. Again, it just depends on the map and my position in the team. It's more important to, you know, understand how I decide to make what units I make. Because, you know, you can lose the early game and make a comeback if you outplay your opponent in the late game. But if your late game is no good, then you're going to lose a lot, probably. This mostly applies for lower rated player matches. You obviously need to know how to play the earlier game to a degree, but, you know, comebacks can be made in team games quite easily if you know what you should be building. Just gotta build a well-balanced army. Just a slightly wired hole here. You know, it occurs to me that Kamiaks aren't really gonna help too much on their side. They need onagers. Those damn machos. But they have onagers, so... You know, Eagle Warriors almost make sense. I'll just throw Kamiaks to that side for fun, though, because Kamiaks are a fun unit. Even though it won't necessarily be, you know, too helpful. How many castles is too many? That is my question. When can I say I have enough? When can I say I have enough? CJ, I plan to make it. This is low on my priority list, but I plan to make a video talking about how I made my custom AI in detail at some point. Any more time? If you guys want to do my my classwork for me, then I'm gonna do it, you know, tomorrow. But cursed classwork. Let's see. The hell? Why is OBS not working? Alright, there we go. I think I just accidentally hotkeyed mill to 1. I was trying to fiddle with my OBS hotkeys. There we go, that should be 1s, right? Yeah. Right. New keyboard, still getting used to it. Still getting used to it. Some market to sell some of this useless money. You know what? These villagers have to walk way too far. I need to reassign them to a new overcamp. Very efficient. How's this fight? Forward wonder. Yeah, I got the money for it, so... I do have the money for it. I could. First game of the day, kind of a relaxing one. Feel bad for Shadow. So many regrets right now. Do not want to do this, mate. But I must. For science! Alright, I'll just, I'll just spawn the guys over in that direction. What? I hit the max pop? Not even more castles can save me from this. Blasphemy. Gotta get as many castles as I can for Kameyuk production. Everyone knows Kameyuk is best unit. Only Teslano is here. I think he's working though right now, or sleeping. Because he has work, but it's like his unit. I need another castle, guys. I don't really do higher rated 3v5s. I mean, the thing is the Katsula should just not be here. He's just too good for this match, honestly. But, you know, like, it's fine. I usually lose these anyway, but, you know, in the future I'm gonna relegate Katsula to the 4v4s, because, you know, he's definitely good enough for those. And he's probably, like, too good for these 3v5s. I feel bad for the enemy team in that regard. Team's not so fair. Not so fair. Should I build against a huge, massive longbows? In noob games, it seems... In noob games, it happens that the player do nothing but massing 150 of them. Okay, well, generally speaking, you don't want to let your opponent get to that point, but, you know, it's all easier in retrospect. And let's say the worst case scenario happens and the guy somehow got 150 longbowmen. Usually people will complain that longbowmen OP when their own economy is just super weak. That you know, while building counter units is pointless if you have, like, no money to constantly sustain their production. Is this map bugged? Are these guys... Oh, no, never mind. I thought they were sharing a wall, but then I realized that he just built that. So yeah, you want to make sure you have a really strong economy first and foremost, so it doesn't matter what you build if you lose your army and you just die, because, you know, with the longbowmen, it's kind of a war of attrition style game, is you're going to have a substantial amount of troops if you want to, well, make any real progress. So, yeah. Now, in regards of what to build, you're going to need a lot of guys. A strong economy first, so that you can build said guys. You don't want a lot of them, and what you need to do is you need to build a lot of onagers. What you need is onagers and meat shields for said onagers. The plan, remember, is to get your onagers into their longbowmen, so you just, you know, mop them up. But the longbowmen can just gun you down with their range advantage, so what you need is some sort of meat shield. Something with good pierce armor. Something like, you know, the light cavalry hussars, knights, eagle warriors. Generally good, because then what happens is they either have to focus fire down the melee units that are charging at them, like they have to act fast. It's either they're going to have to get owned by the onagers, they're going to have to get owned by the cavalry or eagle warriors that are coming at them. You can make skirms and whatnot too as some additional range support, but yeah, what you want to do is you need onagers and you need to give the enemy a reason to not shoot at the onagers. You want to make it so he loses his guy dead or alive, and a good part of it comes from the macro. While micro can save you, again, it doesn't matter what units you build if you're just too poor. You're going to need to have at least equal or greater numbers in a lot of these cases, and, you know, if it's a noob game, I'm assuming your opponent has a terrible economy, so if you just outboom him, if you just make more villagers than him, you're going to destroy his life. And it doesn't matter what he builds, so... Where's the captain? Yeah, it doesn't matter what he builds, as long as, if you got a stronger economy, man, like, a huge mistake I see noobs make is nothing can stand in your way if you're making sure your town center is always working. This is, you know, from lower rated games. You make sure your town center is, like, always making villagers or researching technology until you hit half of the max population. And just say a general rule that's important to remember is you want at least 100 villagers. Always. No one plays on less than 200 pop anyway. But you always want at least 100 villagers, and never forget. It's critical, it really is. It makes a huge difference. If your opponent has 150 longbowmen and it's 200 pop, then you know what that means? That means he only has 50 villagers, and if you have 100, you're going to destroy him. Because even though he has more guys than you can just keep producing stuff. And especially with longbowmen is, you're going to need to keep building, like, your buildings forward to you know, really sustain troop production and, you know, keep moving the line forward. Well, thank you, M. Lobits, or Lobits. Sorry if I got your name wrong, man, but thank you. It means a lot to me. It really does. It really does. You know, I've seen my channel grow, you know, by leaps and bounds recently, and I say it a lot, but it's true. The support has been phenomenal. You know, I'm really close to like 1 million YouTube views as of the time of me recording this, and 10K subs, and I'm gonna have to do something special for that. I am. I just hit 1,000 Facebook likes and like 100,000 Twitch views. It's been awesome, and you know, as my channel grows larger and larger, you know, I'm gonna use lumberjack. Yeah, for a while I had all those extra lumberjacks since I was too damn busy to build trade carts. Too lazy to build trade carts, and I just wanted to sell the wood and stuff. But you know, at this point in the game, I don't need them. I need to free up that pop space. At this point in the game, yeah. Too lazy to build trade carts. Too lazy. A lot of people mispronounce it. Say it's Molobits. Molobits, got it. Thank you, Zaftron. That's the idea. That's the idea. You know, in all the games I play, I want to try and make strategy games a bit more approachable to you guys. And I try to do that in a number of ways. You know, I want to keep things entertaining and funny to a degree. It keeps people's attention, but I also want to try and like break things down in easy to understand terms. Because you know, I know firsthand how hard it is to learn these games. It can take quite a while if there's no one there to, you know, break it down for you and make it easier to understand. So, you know, that's where I try to come in. And as my channel, you know, grows larger and larger, I'm going to try my best to keep, you know, the degree of viewer interaction incredibly high. Yeah. At some point, you know, I might need to use the slow mode chat or something like that. Shit, there's so many guys. I might need to like resort to slow mode at some point. You know, eventually, obviously not anytime soon. But you know, I'm gonna try and focus on that. Because, you know, that's my priority here. And I'm not trying to play my best game at Aoe2, I'm just trying to, you know, hang out with you guys, I guess. I'm trying to do both at the same time. What are my KMX doing? You can do it, boys, you can do it. Alright, GG well played. Ate a lot of Mangadai, and this is pretty spooky for a minute. Pretty spooky. There are way too many Mongols in this game. I might get spies if I need it. This is not the comeback. We got this in the bag. GG, well played though. Sorry the teams weren't substantially fair, but this match turned out to be closer than I thought it would be. In fact, this match was actually rather close. Well, like not like we were ever in danger of losing, but they held out for a really long time, and it was admirable. It really is. It was an impressive play. You love the sub item? I'm glad, man. So yeah, I mean, again, I've said it before, but you can expect me to be streaming quite a bit in the future, but, you know, a good chunk of it is going to be, you know, like casualist streams where I'm not going to be chatting as much as I normally would, but I'll still be interacting with you guys via the chat. I'm not, like, physically using my mic. I didn't click that castle link, if you. Click too fast, click too fast. I'm going to be playing quite a bit of Hearthstone, I think, at some point. If you guys haven't heard, my 3DS capture card, at least as of me recording this video, is not working properly. So I'm going to have to work more continually with the customer support to get that fixed. Which is why you haven't seen Pokemon in a long time. I know that a lot of you guys are just die-hard Aoe2 fans, and you just like, fuck anything that's not Aoe2. I understand that. I really do. But, you know, as a favor to me, just remember that, you know, when I do things that aren't Age of Empires 2, it's just extra content, you know? I play games all the time, and I feel like it'd be a waste if I didn't just record those two, right? I play games 24/7. I'm a gamer. It's what I do. I feel like it'd be a waste. And I just want you guys to know that just because you don't like League of Legends or whatever, doesn't mean that it's gonna, like, take over my channel. There's plenty of League of Legends personalities out there. The world doesn't need to be saturated with those. So, you know, when I do stuff like Hearthstone and whatnot, it's not replacing my Aoe2 anytime soon. As long as there's, you know, demand for Aoe2, it's always going to be a focus here. It's just extra content. Was your third online game? You played really well, Kurt Evil, honestly. I'm really sorry that, you know, your half of the map got kind of decimated. Like, again, the teams weren't ideal. You were unfortunately right next to a guy who was probably way too good for this specific match. So, you know, my apologies in that regard. Look forward to the next time I get to play with you, dude. We should be able to get slightly fairer opponents in this case, because, yeah, this guy was, like, right next to you, didn't really show you any mercy, and these 3v5s I like to show a bit of mercy. try and focus on keeping it fun rather than too serious. I kind of feel it, Zethkron, that, you know, somehow along the way, and this blows my mind, I attracted like a bunch of like diehard Dota fans who are like, Resonance, you should kill yourself, you play League of Legends, like, fuck you. And I'm like, whoa, calm down, because, like, really, does playing any specific game warrant that kind of thing? Like, shit, man, like, you know, if I didn't like a certain game, you know, it wouldn't piss me off to see that someone else enjoys it, I guess, you know? Just because it's not my thing doesn't mean it can't be your thing. It was shocking that I got a lot of comments like that. That was like, you were super pissed. Like, man, I mean, if you like Dota, I think you could play League of Legends too. I think that's a violation of the Geneva Convention. Maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm crazy, and you must only pick one. It's like super serious business, man. You can't play both. What are you, filthy casual? It's not about liking games and having fun anymore, guys. It's all about picking sides. Thou shalt, yeah, it's in the Bible, guys. Thou shalt not play both League of Legends and Dota. And if I guess nowadays we refer to people who play the game because they like it as infidels. That's my just little my little 2 cents there. You know, while I might not be the the game I don't play. Okay, yeah, I might not be the biggest fan of Farmville, but if Farmville is your thing, then I respect that. That's fine. You can enjoy Farmville. It doesn't bother me. You know, I would understand if people got angry about, like, me playing League of Legends if it was, like, all I did. But it's not like I've, like, canceled an Aoe2 stream just to play League of Legends. So. Yes. GG Yellow.
Yes.
That's just the way I see it. No. Doesn't really bother me. I mean, the internet is full of trolls. I have to have thick skin, otherwise I couldn't do this. And for the most part, my YouTube comments are, well, very pristine. I really enjoy that I can, you know, read my Twitch chat and I can read my YouTube comments, and, you know, besides that one League video that I did recently, I don't have to worry about the comments being absolutely hilariously stupid. They're really nice to read, and a very, very great community that surrounds me. It's fantastic. It is. And I hope to continue, you know, breeding that kind of, that viewer base over time. By treating you guys with the, you know, the same amount of respect, attention, and love that I, you know, would expect of myself. I always try to be the streamer that I would personally want to watch, and I try to keep the quality high in that regard, I guess, if that makes any sense. That's just my spiel. Yeah, Res plays Farmville every game. Oh, technically I do. Yeah, technically, right? Yeah, I think for the most part, people who watch Aoe2 are more mature, because they grew up with it. Yeah, and I think that as, like, in general, like, Age of Empires 2 is such an old game. Like, we're a really tight-knit community compared to the community of most games, you know, we really... I think people play Aoe2, for, like, purely fun reasons, you know? Like, we play this game, we play Age of Empires 2 because we love Age of Empires 2. We think this is an awesome game, we play it because we like it. Because let's be honest here. Let's be honest, guys. You can't play Age of Empires 2 because you like the infrastructure. You just can't. Okay? Like, it's hard to have petty alliances and whatnot in AoE2. Because let's be real. I mean, the game's graphics, you know, while they did age well, this game is not Crysis 2 anymore, or Crysis 3. You can't play this game because you think it looks pretty. This game is so old, you can't play it for, like, superficial reasons. Like, it lags like crazy, the game is really buggy. Like, it's super basic. You can't spectate a match that's, like, already started, for example, and whatnot. And while the game has been getting more features over time, you have to, if you play AoE2 and you like AoE2, it's because you love the damn game. It's not because, like, you jumped on some, you know, bandwagon. If you play AoE2, it's probably because you love the game. And I think that's what makes this community so good. Because this game is so bloody old. This game is so old that it's still alive. The player base is still growing, and that's nuts. Like, we're still getting more features, more support. You know, Microsoft picked it up again and made an HD edition. This game is ancient, guys. So if you you know, if you're a part of this community that we have here, this Age of Empires community, probably because you like the game. And I think that breeds a better community. We're tight-knit in that regard, that we really, really like the game. It's a damn quality game. It really is. Otherwise, it wouldn't have lasted that long. You know, we all got that nostalgia that that binds us. And even if you're a new player, you know, you can't be here because this is the, you know, the smoothest running game that, you know, all the cool kids are playing. It's one of the best games out there. It's just really fun, and that's cool. That's why I like Aoe2. You know, it's a great game. And speaking of other great games, at some point I don't know. You guys can let me know what you think. I'll probably talk about it a bit more in the next video. But you know, in terms of celebrating my channel reaching a bunch of you know, milestones here, you know, we're really close to 1 million YouTube views, for example, and I'm really close to 10K subs, so we're moving close to that. So I gotta start thinking about what to do. I mean, we had 1,000 Facebook likes and 100,000 Twitch views. It was awesome. I was thinking that, I mean, I've got ideas, and I have to talk to people about this, but I was thinking of doing like an extra stream where I show you guys another part of my childhood that I think you'd all appreciate as much as I do. Because I know that, again, some of you guys really just play Aoe2 and you don't really know much outside of it and you don't really care to. No, that's okay. But another game that I played a lot in my childhood was this game called Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds, which you might have heard of, and I used to play it all the time. If you're a fan of Age of Empires 2, this is a game you should know about, and it was incredibly unpopular. Like, one of my problems with the game and why I stopped playing it is not because, like, the game got old, per se, is that there was just no one to play against. The game never really picked up in player base, but basically Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds is the only other game to use the specific Age of Empires 2 engine. Like, they built it off the Aoe2 engine. It's like Star Wars, it's like Age of Empires 2 in space. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I'll probably do like an extra stream of Galactic Battlegrounds. Well, thank you so much for subscribing, Kotsalos, by the way. It means a ton to me. Really, thank you, thank you. Helps support the channel and everything. So yeah, probably show off some Galactic Battlegrounds. Maybe I'll do that in an extra stream. Yes, it's literally an Age of Empires 2 game. It's Aoe2 in space. It's so cool, and it's so stupid. You know, Aoe2 is like a game that I think is pretty well balanced and reasonable, and Galactic Battlegrounds, they said fuck that. Like, they got a bunch of guys in a room, they got really high, and they're like, you know what Age of Empires 2 needs? Jedi. What if Aoe2 in space? And it gave us that, and God, that game is cool. If you like Aoe2, you will like Galactic Battlegrounds. It is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Love that game. So yeah. I'll probably do an extra stream for that, in addition to some other stuff, yeah. You guys can let me know what you would like me to do. I'm not a man of limitless stamina, though, so I don't know about, like, a 24-hour stream. I'd probably die. Yeah, but I'm open to suggestions. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. This is a really long outro. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this match as much as I enjoyed playing it. If you did, you know, take the time to leave me a like rating if you can. It really does support me and helps the channel a lot. And if you enjoyed this video, you'll probably like the other Age of Empires 2 videos I have on my channel. I have plenty of other videos of Aoe2 as well as other games on my page, so if you like this one, you'll probably like those as well. Thank you so much for the support, as always, guys. I really do appreciate it. Got a bunch of new cool stuff on the way, and I'm going to be live streaming a lot in the future, and, you know, you can find my live streaming schedule by going to the Twitch page, scrolling down a bit, blah, blah, blah. I've been talking for way too long. Love you guys. Thank you so much for subbing, Kotsalos. And I'll be back in, like, I'm going to say, like, 30 seconds to and start transitioning into the next game for today's live stream. So I'll see you all in like 30 seconds. Yeah. Thank you for watching. See you all shortly. GG, well played, guys. GG, well played.